Today we're here with Ed Waddell from Henrietta, Oklahoma now, but originally North Carolina, then South Carolina, probably more famously known to be in the South Carolina area.
Yes, ma'am.
Your recent move, what brought you to Oklahoma real quick?
Well, I've hauled out here for years, had business out here for years, and I always wanted to be out this way, but never wanted to leave my family. So I went ahead and made the move and got out this way and got in a little more of a central location, and it's worked for me so far.
Now, have you been through any of their freezes yet in the winter?
Oh, yes. First when we moved out here 2 years ago, the day after Christmas 2 years ago, and we were here for about a week, and the big freeze came. So made me scratch my head and wonder for a little while.
It's a little different than parts of South Carolina.
Yes, it is.
Well, Ed, you're noted for not just being a great starter of futurity horses, but you have a hand in every part of the barrel racing business. You started, you said, at a young age, as a teenager, showing, and it was just something you enjoyed. Tell us a little bit about the different aspects of the horses that you do for the futurities, for open horses, and you have some wonderful pros that ride your horses, Liz Pinkston, Cappy Allen.
Yes. Well, on the futurity end, I ride a lot of futurity horses, start a lot of futurity horses, but your futurity horses are not going to always make it as 4-year-olds. But if they have the talent, like Risky Chris, for instance, I think he won about $20,000 his futurity year. But if I would have overpressured him and tried to get more than that, he wouldn't have never made it as what he made it. I let him handle the pressure, that he could handle as a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old, and kept stepping it from there. And that's where everybody has their own way and own style, and I don't try to knock nobody's style down. This is my way of doing things, but I want a horse for the long term for people, not just his 4-year-old year. And that's what's worked best for me. If I feel the talent, and if he can go on, then I go on with him. But if the colt needs to be held back a little more and gradually stepped up, I'll let the customer know that. And then if they want to go on, then I continue to go on and just build that foundation for them. And then, hopefully when it's a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old, it's still really getting things done.
Running hard and working well in the pen. Now, you have Liz brings colts to you, and you have a waiting list.
Yeah.
Tell us, we know you're accessible on the web. We're going to touch on your website and some of the other things that you're also involved in outside of the pen.
Okay.
But tell us a little bit about starting horses for the pros, because as you mentioned a second ago, that it is a different pressure for them. It's a different progression for them, and if you're taking a horse to the pros, you have to treat them younger a little differently than you would strictly futurities.
And a lot of the rodeo gals I ride for, Cappy or Liz or so forth, they stay on the road so much they don't have time anyway, basically. But the main thing they're looking for is horses with the talent that can handle that trashy, tight rodeo ground and the atmosphere and everything that goes along with it. So, and they, depend on me to tell them that, whether it's capable of handling that. And, they don't expect it there overnight. So we just go on with it by stages. But again, they don't want it to take 10 years to get to that point neither. So if I feel like it's got the talent to really be something and be there within several years, then we go on with it. If not, then they put their money in another prospect.
Now, Ed, do you breed your own horses as well? Because I know that you run your own, and from what I hear, it's fantastic to watch you ride a barrel horse. But do you start your own as well, or do you have specific lines that you like to go towards?
No, of course, your Dash to Fame. I mean, that's your hottest bloodline, or one of your hottest bloodlines in the barrel industry. I am promoting a Dash to Fame stud for a client, Justin and April Hickey with running Brook Farms, I believe. I'm going to start promoting it next year for him. he's a real talented stud, and I believe he can handle everything as a stud. And his oldest babies right now are yearlings, coming twos, and he throws real nice babies also. So I don't really breed to anything specific. We have a few brood mares of ourselves for our own, and then I do have clients that has some also. So we'll just I do think this one stud that I'm helping promote a little bit can really be something on down the road, and be something I look forward to riding his babies and see how that goes.
Well, part of your talents in training barrel horses also goes to some of your talents outside of the arena. You said you're working on a bit line that may be coming out soon. Part of them are your own creations. Tell us a little bit about the bit line, maybe when we can expect to see it.
Okay. I work a lot with Kurt Leonard with Carolina Bit from North Carolina. And we've been working together for the last few years on things. And we've both designed a different line of bits that work for me. Of course, Kurt has a real long line of other bits also, but there's a Pacific line that me and him both have talked about and designed, and that's a lot that I run with, and Kathy Allen runs with, and Liz Pinkston runs with, and different other ones. So by the first of the year, we hope to get it all on his website a little more, and my website a little more, and get names listed on everything instead of me calling them up and saying, Kurt, I need this bit for a customer that's described like this without a name. So that's what we'll try to get names on everything by the first of the year, and go with it like that.
A little more marketing and production friendly. Well, as you mentioned, you'll have information about that coming up on your websites as it progresses. And your website is Waddell.com, which is easy to remember. They can find also, you do clinics. You have several clinics throughout the year. They can find your schedule there. They can find information about tuning on open horses, futurity colts that you're working with. Yes,
that's true. And my clinics, I try to do about 6 or 7 a year. I do a lot of private lessons there at the farm. And if there's someone that wants a clinic, it's tough for me during the spring of the year right now with futurities. The more futurities in the spring, but I could sure try to schedule one whenever I had time. If someone didn't want, I also do private clinics, as well at my farm, but as well as going to someone else's place. Sometimes 3 or 4 gals will want to get together and just let me help them work on little things that they're having trouble with, and so I do it like that. Also, so all the way around, just try to keep my foot in the door, helping anybody I can all the way around. Well, and if we need information, go to edwaddell.com. Yes. And they can pick your brain if they see you in a public place. Sure. We're glad to have you out in this part of the country, and excited to see a lot more of you. Thank you for your time, Ed. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And we'll see you down the road. Okay.